Sorry. Okay, good. So we hope that you had a productive discussion, a lot of ideas, and you are now ready to present to us the solution you work on today. So, yes. Vous allez avoir 3 minutes pour présenter votre solution. Au bout de ces 3 minutes, je vous ferai ce signe pour vous inviter à finir, au cas où que vous duriez trop longtemps. So you will have 3 minutes to present your solution. And after these 3 minutes, I will give you this sign to invite you to finish. So, on va commencer avec l'équipe de challenge number 3. Oh, why it's... Yeah, the challenge number 3. Legalfundi, if it's okay for you, you can share the screen for your pitch, if it's okay for you.
Yes, sure. Let me.
Yes, okay.
1 second. Sorry.
Yeah, sure. Maybe I can, if I have your presentation, do you prefer, oh, perfect, sorry.
Yes, cool.
Yeah.
So we're seeing the screen, fantastic. Time is starting now, that's fine. Hello everyone, my name is Jack Chennels and I'm team lead for the Legalfundi challenge and here to run you through our solution. So as a brief overview, Legalfundi is an automation company delivering legal solutions via bots and using AI to match users with vetted networks. The Legalfundi app helps the user understand what law applies to their scenario, providing them with a simple, explained walkthrough and access to legal and alternative support. We designed with affordability, with accessibility and understanding in mind. Everything we do works through from query to understanding, and ultimately from understanding to submission. So in a short version of it, a user would enter the solution, they'd understand their scenario, they'd be able to walk through process maps delivered with user input as well as base queries. From there, we support them in filling in any documentation, allowing them to access any form of remediation which they may deem necessary, and ultimately finding them a remedy pathway and what we deem warm body support. Our question revolved around how to facilitate the access and use of the Legalfundi tool by the Ugandan nationals and migrant workers who are victims of forced labor in Uganda. This came with 3 requirements, allowing for easy access with low data, walking through correct and nuanced legal processes, and ultimately finding the correct support. This was our team that we had working on the hackathon today. Ultimately, the timing of it wasn't given too much, and I obviously didn't get the time of that. But in going into the problem here, we attempted to go down to the base level of what we were trying to work on. And this involved a lot of problem mapping, and it involved recognizing that we weren't able to support all the sectors at once, and that ultimately we needed to focus and hone down the sector and work within that space. This problem mapping allowed us to understand the nuanced problems with the various sectors we're facing, and to use that then as a means to understanding the root problem with a nuanced breakdown of the problems faced by their sectors. And we defined these problems, whether they were human problems, whether they were structural problems, or if they were accessibility concerns. After walking through a number, we thought to focus on where we could most easily apply the technology within the pilot phase. And our focus then became on domestic workers and those within the hospitality sectors. Moving on from there, the breakdown was then became about focusing on the areas which we chose to focus on. And we chose content adaptation, highlighting partners for distribution, and highlighting partners who we could utilize as part of a trust building process for use ultimately and uptake, which would become the driving factors behind the platform success. So we broke down the stakeholders into various groups. We had a huge mind map around this, and ultimately it came through at the various sectors that we needed to target. In totality, it came to about 43 target contracts, ranging from civil society groups and government agencies to legal support agencies and trade unions, migration experts, and finally into telecommunications agencies. Here's a short mock-up that we pulled together for the process. And yeah, we believe that our objective in coming into this process was to highlight the mechanisms through which we could get our tool into market quickest, and to be able to support those where we weren't necessarily having to find alternative mechanisms to reach in, but where a lot of the problems were already faced. So I thank you. I think that is under my 3 minutes, and yeah.
Thank you. I think we can applaud you. Thank you. Don't hesitate to put any comments for you, for the Legalfundi team. Thank you for the good presentation. Thank you for your job. Okay, so now we're gonna on va laisser la place au challenge le challenge numéro 2, IFEDD.
Oui, Julien, IFEDD est là.
On vous entend.
Bien, j'ai vu que sur mes autres partenaires ne sont plus disponibles, alors c'est moi qui vais parler.
Alors, on vous écoute.
Un message sur Slack en disant qu'ils étaient tous allés regarder un match ou quelque chose comme ça.
Mais du coup, ils ont laissé une vidéo. Oui.
Pardon?
J'ai l'impression que c'est une vidéo pour que ça fasse le pitch, c'est ça? Oui, du coup, peut-être que vous n'avez même pas besoin de parler, j'ai l'impression. N'est-ce pas?
Alors, j'ai également envoyé un de fidèles pour juste présenter de façon succincte les points saillants sur lesquels j'aurais aimé abonder si j'en obtenais l'autorisation. Donc, sur le plan de la présentation d'IFEDD, il y a Vous m'entendez?
Oui, pardon.
Sur le plan de la présentation d'IFEDD ou le pitch d'IFEDD, il y a la vidéo de...
Oui, on va la lancer, oui.
Oui, il y a un document de fidèle et il y a le mien également.
Ah, d'accord. Mais...
Alors, je ne sais pas si le document que j'ai envoyé ainsi que les deux autres documents sont suffisants.
Oui.
C'est à vous de juger.
D'accord. Alors, je vois que la vidéo fait 3 minutes, donc à mon avis, c'est le pitch, donc on va regarder ça.
Très bien.
OK. Alors, c'est parti de notre côté. Dites-nous si vous entendez bien la vidéo, le son. On va faire un test.
Hello, this is the outcome of the work of the IFEDD team for this hackathon. We had to prepare a video because our team has to go and watch the Congo football game at 5 p.m. IFEDD is an incredible organization focused on assisting vulnerable groups, specifically in the artisanal mining sector. They are among the first users of the DataStack platform, which is designed to capacitate local stakeholders in the identification, assessment, and mitigation of risks at community level. Local challenges will be resolved by local actors. Transferring such risk management capacity to local stakeholders like IFEDD makes data collection more sustainable and impact measurement more reliable. What you see here is the process through which IFEDD compile information on the mine site. They use a standard risk management module, which is designed for them to compile large amounts of granular information. For that, IFEDD leverage a large network of local information relays across the mining community. They've started specifically compiling information on local risks, incidents, risk measurement, proposed measures, corrective actions. But as part of the work with ILO, They must now demonstrate that their work on the ground yields relevant results, specifically with regards to child labor. Fiston from the IFEDD team proposed a review of all the information gathered by IFEDD and the development of a specific dashboard for child labor at the mine site, which will be used to efficiently report on their work to ILO and later to a broader range of stakeholders. IFEDD presented all the details of their information collection and compilation process, how they report corrective actions, and what data they already have at their disposal. Experts from ILO made recommendations on those aspects that must be monitored specifically as part of the work. And so hacking began, first on paper.
Il y a les diagrammes qui montrent le nombre d'enfants sur une certaine période. Il y a les diagrammes qui montrent le nombre de creuseurs, c'est-à-dire les travailleurs dans l'ensemble dans les sites miniers.
Then we turned the work of the IFEDD team members into a mock-up, which we then shared with the broader group for consultation and improvements. And while I worked on the prototype, the IFEDD team considered the challenges related to data compilation.
La solution, c'est de créer, comme tu l'as dit, de créer des esprits, de les lire face.
Both IFEDD and DataStake hope that we can continue to collaborate with ILO to consider those challenges. And now, here's the prototype turned into a design file for monitoring and management of child labor risk at an individual mine site. Unfortunately, we didn't have time to complete the prototype. The risk management and evolution sections are missing, but we will continue to work on it. And this is all based on information that IFEDD and any stakeholder in DRC can compile, information that ILO can consolidate from multiple sources.
Bravo. Bravo Eric, il faudra applaudir l'équipe pour nous.
Oui, je le fais avec beaucoup de joie.
Merci beaucoup.
Merci à vous autant.
Okay, and now the last team, challenge Ulula.
You see my screen?
Yes.
All right. Good afternoon to everyone, or good evening for some. So my name is Antoine. I'm the founder and director of Ulula, and I'll be reporting on the outcomes of our journey today. So Ulula is a B Corp social enterprise from Canada that's been working in about 40 countries, collecting data directly from communities and workers to create better working conditions around the world. The problem we're trying to solve, I think, is well known to many of you in this hackathon, is that DRC has one of the highest incidents of modern slavery, estimated at 1 million by the Global Slavery Index, including many children, 15 to 20% according to UNICEF. And on the other side, you have limited coverage of monitoring and low reliability and abundance of data. So that's really the area where we want to focus. And then we had a great team to work on that, made of professionals from the ILO, data specialists from Lausanne and our team as well, and the fantastic Miss Sophie from whose camera was not working. And we really wanted to really build on what Ulula has been doing in DRC to try to tackle two key challenges. One is, how do we increase the relevance and value of the data that we have and collect additional data to help us further? And how do you create a sustainable and scalable process for collecting data given the scale and systemic nature of the problem we're solving? To give you a sense of what the base we have looks like, and we have been collecting and I did so we can create a bottom-up data collection that's, I think, really essential to really understand what's on the ground and be more actionable. So we have good experience in how we recruit people, how we incentivize participation using pricing information, having a network of NGOs on the ground, using media campaigns, etc., and pushing mobile incentives so that people, have something to show for their participation. and being able to collect the data in a two-way relationship as it's shown on this picture, either by sending them the price of gold so that they can see the value of our system and respond to questions about child labor, or just because they want to participate. And all of that goes in a database, and we had a lot of discussions today on what sort of data, how can we improve these data sets and this data visualization so that the people on the ground, our key customers, are satisfied. And we spent all our afternoon really, I think, well, not all of our afternoon, most of our afternoon, really building a more precise business Canva about our effort. And we focused, we had time to focus on 3 of the most important values in the business Canva around our customer segments, where we mapped out, the range of customers from policymakers to NGOs, communities, etc., and really honed in then on our value proposition around the timeliness and usefulness of the data that we could build for the different stakeholders, and started really laying out all the potential actors to work with. With that, we are at the beginning of this journey here. We really also had a very, I think, important conversation about the data models we want to build, and how we can work with the ILO to really further explore that data in the coming weeks, consult with the key stakeholders to get their inputs and understand the customer journeys. I think many of them will be the intended users, so they will give us insight, and also we can test that through the MVP and the launch that we foresee in the next 12 months to inform the scale up phase. And Congo is winning 1-0. So allez, thank you.
Thank you. Merci beaucoup. Bravo. Et allez la RDC. So yes, thank you. Thank you very much to all of you. Congratulations. Merci à vous pour vos présentations. Merci pour ce partage. Thank you for your sharing. Yes, I'm going to share the screen. Nous avons le plaisir d'avoir avec nous Monsieur Bernard Amuria, représentant du Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development of Uganda, qui vous a écouté et qui a souhaité vous adresser un mot. So we are pleased to welcome Bernard Amuria, representative of the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development of Uganda, who listened to your presentation and wanted to say a few words to you. So Bernard, the floor is yours.
Well, thank you very much, Julia, and all the guests who are participating in this meeting. I would like to first of all thank the presenters of all the winners of the innovation challenge that who have made a presentation. We have just been watching, and I think they did a great job. I'd like to thank them for that. Nevertheless, I would like to go into the assignment that I've been requested to deliver. The ILO officials. I would like to thank the consultant of Decathlon for the innovation challenge. The guests who are participating in your various capacities, the winners of this innovative challenge, ladies and gentlemen. First and foremost, I would like to bring you greetings from the Republic of Uganda. We are in a very difficult time, mourning the passing away of our Speaker of the 11th Parliament of Uganda. Today, of course, we have had a very hectic day. The legal framework in place, the Constitution, does not allow Parliament transact any business before the next speaker is elected. So the country has been going through that process of electing a new speaker. And then, of course, the deputy, which has just ended about 7 o'clock this evening. So nevertheless, I would like to convey to you the greetings from Mr. Lyons, Mr. David Martin Wandera, the Director of Labor in the Ministry of Gender, Labor and Social Development. He had been requested to join in this meeting and officially close this meeting. Unfortunately, because of other state engagements and commitments, he was not able to. So he requested me to step in his big shoes to perform this responsibility. This innovation challenge, for the opportunity for us to close this challenge. And of course, as you are aware, Uganda is one of the Pathfinder countries. And we would like to thank you for the opportunity, the trust which has been bestowed upon us as a country. And would like to say that we will not take this for granted. Of course, this arises out of the achievements that we have attained since 1999, when Uganda started the implementation of the International Program of Elimination of Child Labor programs, IPEC, in the country, and a lot has actually been achieved in this direction. Of course, as some of you are aware, Uganda government expressed commitment to formally join the Alliance 8.7 in December 2018. That is, of course, a year and about 2 months from the launch of the Alliance 8.7 program in New York. And of course, thereafter, we are bestowed and given, put among the Pathfinder countries. And again, as I mentioned earlier, Mr. Wandera was not here, representing. Was appointed a focal point officer and a chair of the Alliance 8.7 at the national level in Uganda. Government of Uganda has demonstrated a commitment to eliminate child labor, forced labor, modern slavery, and trafficking in persons. And I would like to inform the audience that the government of Uganda ratified all the 8 ILO fundamental principles and rights and freedoms, and of course, including the 2 ILO conventions that touch on the issues of elimination of child labor. And all these have been, of course, put into the legal framework of the country, and in practice, interventions have been put in place. Of course, this meaning other UN instruments concerning the devices that I've mentioned above. Furthermore, government of Uganda has therefore put in place policies as required under the Alliance 8.7, laws, regulations, and plans aimed at eradication of child labor, forced labor, modern slavery, and trafficking in persons. The National Constitution of Uganda, which was promulgated in 1995, and then of course subsequently amended, provides for respect of human dignity and protection of humane treatment, protection from slavery, servitude, and forced labor, and of course protection of the children from any form of exploitation. The National Constitution is, of course, obviously backed by many legal and regulatory frameworks, such as the National Child Labor Policy, which we developed in 2006. It's, of course, overdue for review. The Employment Act of 2006, the Children's Amendment Act of 2018, the Prevention of Act the Prevention of Trafficking in Persons Act 2009, the Employment, in bracket, Employment for Children Regulation of 2012, the Prevention of Trafficking in Persons Regulations 2019, and then of course we have had the national action plans put in place. We have had the latest of 2020-21, which of course has interventions aimed at elimination of child labor, of course, beginning with the worst forms of child labor. So it is of course obviously amazing to see that what technology can do after attending to these hackathon innovation challenges and the pitches of all the 3 innovative solutions that we have just been witnessing. I know that digital solutions and technology is a way to go in addressing violations of rights in the fast-changing world of work. Digital solutions and technology can be a great tool to enhance our knowledge, coordination, and quality of services that we as duty bearers offer to victims and survivors of child labor, and of course all these other vices that I've mentioned above. These innovations are a great confirmation that we can still fulfill our commitments to ending child labor, forced labor, modern slavery, and of course trafficking persons amidst the many challenges, including the COVID-19 pandemic that is of course still ravaging the world. Uganda has remained a source, transit, and destination country for men, women, young women, and children subjected to various forms of exploitation, including forced child sacrifices, street begging, child marriages, sex trafficking in sectors such as agriculture, fishing, forestry, herding, mining, stone quarry, brick making, carpentry, manufacturing, street vending, working in bars and restaurants, and of course the domestic service, which is one of those hidden sectors. Despite the above steps, in Uganda, many victims are stuck in situations that can be addressed. Others end up in even worse situations by seeking advice or services from the wrong people who follow the wrong path. We are pleased with the Legalfundi, the idea to provide a walkthrough application that will link the victims to practical steps that will lead them to accessing justice and free of charge. As one of the pathfinder countries of Alliance 8.7, we are very grateful to be the first beneficiaries of these innovation solutions. We take this opportunity to thank and appreciate our neighboring country, the Democratic Republic of Congo, for accepting to be among the pilot countries. And of course, obviously, what we have just been, the presentation that were made, which we have all listened to and seen. One of the main objectives of Alliance 8.7 is to derive innovation and scale up solutions for elimination of child labor, forced labor, modern slavery, and trafficking persons. In this regard, we appreciate the innovators for initiating these great and innovative ideas, and in particular, Legalfundi for focusing on Uganda on the topic of forced labor. We thank the chair of Alliance 8.7, the secretary of Alliance 8.7, a special appreciation to the Solutions and Innovation Unit for initiating this challenge. We extend gratitude to ILO for supporting government of Uganda in all efforts towards the achievement of SDG target 8.7, and of course the decent work agenda in Uganda. We congratulate the winners of Innovative Challenge, Legalfundi, Ulula, and of course IFEDD. We wish you success in piloting your innovation challenges, solutions, And we pledge to support you especially Legalfundi, which will be working in Uganda. We, of course, assure you of all our total government support and commitment in that area. Finally, I would like to thank Open Geneva and UNITA for the support in organizing the innovation challenge. And I hope that each of us is energized to support the innovation solutions to the challenges identified. On that note, I would like to thank you for your attention. All this I say for God and my country. Thank you very much, Julia.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your message, for your presence. Merci beaucoup pour vos mots et vos remerciements. On va maintenant, je vais laisser maintenant la parole à Alix Nasri de ILO qui va vous adresser quelques mots aussi et vous parler des prochaines étapes après le hackathon pour les 3 projets du Innovation Challenge. So Alix from ILO, who is going to talk to you about the next step after the hackathon for the 3 projects of the Innovation Challenge. So Alix, it's your turn. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Julia. And thank you very much also, Mr. Amoria, for being with us today. We know it's very late on your side, so we really appreciate you being with us, and we very much look forward to working with you to implement this solution together with Legalfundi in the coming weeks. It's a big pleasure to have the last words after this pretty intense day. I think hearing the pitches, I feel that the objective of the day have been achieved. This was in fact our first open innovation hackathon that we participated in, and I think this will not be the last after today. I think we have seen really the benefit of the tool and this methodology. I know it's not easy also to commit to disconnect from all your other work for one full day, especially in the world we live in, where we're always connected with dealing with 10 tasks at once. But I think it worked well, and it was good to have this moment where we can reflect and be all together during a full day. So I wanted to reflect just quickly on what worked well, and I'm speaking mostly about the challenge I participated in, but I think this was also the case for other teams. First, I think what is really great about hackathons is those horizontal discussion type. We had really a great mix of experts with very different type of expertise. And we could really exchange for the full day pretty freely in this safe space. It was fun. We had the impression to be back on the university bench. And I think those type of environments are really conducive to delivering in quite an effective way on solving some of the issues around an innovation challenge. Secondly, I think having everyone in the room, yes, a full day, it seems long, but at the same time, I feel that if we did not have the hackathon, it would have taken us 3 more months to figure out what we figured out in one day. So I think it's a good time investment to have this space to really focus and build on the solutions together. And then lastly, I think it also met one key objective. I think it was an essential moment for us at the ILO, but also for the challenge owners to reflect on a few essential questions. The first one is, how can we guarantee that those innovations really meet the needs of child laborers and forced labor victims? And that's a key one that is really central to all our work. And I think the hackathon was really a good moment to reflect on that. And secondly, how to also ensure that we do not duplicate with solutions and systems that are already in place in the target countries, so in the DRC and in Uganda. How do we also make sure that we truly understand the context, its sensitivities, in which the solution will be pilot tested? I think we also advanced a lot on this thanks to the many experts, for example, in our group that connected from Uganda with their very specific experience and expertise that they were able to share. So reflecting on the day, I think that the added value at the ILO is really, of the ILO, is really to make this bridge. On one hand, trying to boost, identify innovative solutions and see how we can accelerate the progress towards the eradication of forced labor and child labor with those digital technologies. And also to ensure that those solutions are meet really the needs of our constituents on the ground, are financially sustainable, and are really fitted for the context. And I think the hackathon is a good exercise to really make this bridge between the two. So the next step now to close this day is to support, in fact, the plans developed today, and really to be side by side with you in the coming weeks throughout the implementation of the solutions, together with our partners in Uganda and the DRC. And this will be, I think, an intense work going forward. The hackathon was an intense day, but we still have a lot of work together in the coming weeks. And I very much look forward to continue really those exchanges. Even after the hackathon, we are here if you have any questions or need to brainstorm again on some of what was discussed today. Finally, I would like to thank really all the winning teams for your commitment to participating today, all the experts who gave us some of their precious time, to Open Geneva and UNITAR for making us realize that hackathon exists and are an effective tool. Also to our management at the ILO for supporting us with those ideas that sometimes look a bit crazy at first. And really to all my ILO colleagues, Damas, Jean-Marie, Christina, Liliana, Jackie, Molly, José Blandine, Polycarp, just to cite a few for the great teamwork. It's really a collective effort behind all of this. So thanks to all. I wish you a really good weekend and look forward to being in touch with all of you. Thank you for having me and thank you for this day. That was really a great experience and a first one for me too.
Thank you very much, Alex.
Thank you. Thank you for your trust. Thank you for your word. Everything you said, I think.
Nice weekend.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Julia.
Thank you very much to everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Have a good weekend.
Have a good weekend, you too.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Je peux partager un écran.
Thank
you.
you.
Il faut pas partager.